Hey everyone, welcome to Pop XP. And before the show starts, make sure to click that subscribe button and click the bell to get notifications when we go live and we upload awesome new content. And don't forget, if you can, make sure to share our stream on all your social media outlets. We appreciate it, and thanks for helping us grow the Pop XP channel. Hey, what is going on, YouTube? It's the brain of the mainframe here, Nile Scott with the Pop XP. And join me as always, my partner in crime, the man, the myth, the legend. Some say he's a sensation, always a teen sensation, Mr. Billy Tucci.
Yes, if you notice, Scala, for the past couple of weeks, yes, I've gotten rid of the Billy Tucci, just teen sensation.
Just teen sensation. It's kind of like a mystery, bro. It's like a mystery. It's like, hey, did you guys see Teen Sensation? And then that brings curiosity to the table, right? Like, who is this teen sensation?
Who's the teen
sensation? There's the real teen sensation.
Exactly.
The Matt-sation.
The Matt-sation. The Matteo Stationi.
Does anyone ever call you Matt? Does anyone just say, hey, Matt?
Everyone.
They call you Matt?
Yeah, and Tucci.
And Tucci. I like Tucci. You got to go by Tucci.
They call you Tucci?
Yeah.
Thanks, man.
That's what everybody called me. Tooch.
They called you the Tooch. We're like, hey.
And then Billy, and I tried to be
combing your mullet, like combing your mullet, nice and everything.
Yeah, and I tried to get I tried to become Bill. So I put Bill on my jacket, my Letterman jacket, you know, in high school, Bill. And was like, you're not Bill, you're Billy. And everyone still called me friggin' Billy. And now I'm 55 years old and still Billy. So that's why I dropped the Billy Tucci. I'm just teen sensation.
Just teen sensation all the way, man. Man, we got a great show, bro. I'm pretty excited because we started this channel like about 3 years ago.
Not quite 3 years ago.
Not quite 3 years ago. We're just going to say about
less than two and a half years. Less than two and a half years.
Nah, bro. 3-year anniversary is in
March.
Is it March? Oh,
yeah.
Well, whatever. Who knows when you're having fun? You know,
it's another teen sensation. Look with his guitar that he
what?
made.
Another teen sensation. What is this? William, watch your mouth. We can't say that word for at least 20 minutes. God, YouTube algorithms. These freaking kids, man. I'm telling you. Man,
Scalasation.
Teen sensation, Scalasation. Andrew Wilson, that's why you just got a wrench, man. That's why you just got a wrench. But man, look at that head. What happened? Let's zoom in on that. Let's do a little study here. Oh wow, look at that. Look at that.
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
I'll tell you though, you got the pores of a 14-year-old.
Don't I know.
Absolutely.
So fabulous. So fabulous.
So fabulous.
Anyway, so I was traipsing through the woods looking for a deer.
Oh, nice.
And I got sticker bush cutsies all over me.
What do you mean you're looking for a deer? What happened?
Oh, sometimes you got to find you know when you arrow a deer, you gotta go looking for it. You know?
Guess so. I guess so. You gotta get like tracking ones, man, or something. You hook up with the GPS.
I've been seeing that GPS on the arrows.
Yeah, you got to do it just for that circumstance.
It all works out in the end. But anyway, the hell with this, bro.
What I was saying, man, we've had this creator like in our radar on our list of who's who to have on, and we finally got this creator on. I'm freaking pumped. I'm really pumped
because of all the controversy that she was going through and all the so she really couldn't say a lot. But that's all past.
That's all past, bro. It's about moving. It's about the future, creating, giving the fans what they want. True escapism.
Thank you.
Hitting Indiegogo, rocking and rolling. Do you want do the introduction, my friend? You didn't land the deer, but land this intro. That's what I'm saying.
There you go. Who says I didn't land the deer? Let's not talk about it. Who said that? Anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, someone again, as the Scala Master said, someone who we've talked about having on the show for almost 2.5 years now since we started. Yes. And she's killing it on Indiegogo. And well, gee whiz, Nile Scala, without further ado or don't, why don't we introduce and bring onto our show our new friend, the wonderful Martina Markota.
Yes. Martina, welcome.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for that intro. It was amazing. And I love all that graphics and stuff. That made me look cool.
Made me look
really cool.
You look like a golden age. You look like a golden age movie star.
Yes.
Thank you.
Like back then, not now. Like back then.
Right. No, I also love that you just said rocking and rolling because that's my thing that I say on my stream because one time I was streaming from England. but I'm trying to, because I have a US audience. So it was like 4 a.m. or something crazy in the UK. I was so tired. And I was just going on and streaming. I was like, okay, we've been rocking and rolling. And then I stopped. I was like, what the hell am I saying? Rocking and roll? Who says that? So I'm just like, yes, it's rocking and rolling. I love it.
Yeah. Lady Alchemy says
phrase.
it. That's who says that.
Yeah. We're rocking and rolling. We say that.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
So how you been, Martina?
I'm good. It feels like a fresh new start. A fresh new start with already a campaign under my belt that I still have to fulfill, but we're good. It's like a fresh new start. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah,
It's awesome. The
posted,
campaign looks
30
amazing.
this week or today or something even?
Yeah, actually, I think, was it today? Last night? Today? I think I got from my colorist. He's taking his sweet time. So it's like, it's frustrating because when you get to the end, you're like really itching. You're like, come on, pump out those last few pages. Let's do this. Let's do this. But yeah, he gave me page 30 colored. All the inking's done. And so we just got another 10 pages to go. And the cover, which just got inked. So that's exciting. And I just feel like it's the last leg finally of this whole thing. And I'm really excited about it.
Awesome. And how many pages is the
It's
book?
40, right? This
It
is
is 40,
standard,
okay.
right?
Yeah,
40?
yeah.
Yeah, so you're over 3/4 there. So yeah, and so what's it about? Talk to us. Tell us about Lady Alchemy.
Yeah. So I mean, where do I start, man? Okay.
And MUTUS LIBER.
Well, actually, why don't we talk,
MUTUS
for
LIBER.
anyone that isn't familiar with Martina, though, why don't we get
Yeah.
to know you a little bit before we get into it? Because this is a very immersive experience once
Right.
they realize.
Right. I like that word
Yes.
immersive, actually, because I did immersive theater. That's exactly the right word. So I am a performance artist based in New York City. Do like burlesque or various like avant-garde, like weird experimental art, whatever. I just use my body as a canvas. And literally. And I call myself Lady Alchemy because I'm obsessed with alchemy. I always have been. I studied math at NYU. I'm really into like philosophy and all that stuff. And I don't know when I came across the concept of alchemy, but it really intrigued me. I think probably because Leonardo da Vinci and Isaac Newton were both like obsessed with alchemy. And I was like, if these brilliant minds are obsessed with it, there's got to be something to it. I mean, who doesn't like the idea of like the elixir of life, the fountain of youth? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? This philosopher's stone, these kinds of ideas. And it was just super magical. And the more you look into it, the more it really resonates on a deeper level. And they say that doesn't matter anymore. Turning things, base metal to gold doesn't matter anymore. Getting the end result doesn't matter anymore. It's almost like the spiritual experience of like this process of refinement and refining yourself and refining your spirit over and over and over again. And it's just, it's an amazing thing. And so the more you study, the more it's fulfilling. And it helps you become a better person yourself. And when I was performing, I didn't like the old, like, I mean, it's fine. I'm not talking shit about it, but like the whole burlesque thing of like, va-voom, va-voom, just being like a sex icon type thing.
Yeah.
It's fun and all, but like, I was like, okay, I have this really nerdy side of me. And then I have this like performing sexy side of me. How do I kind of put that together? And that's when I created Lady Alchemy. And I decided to take alchemical concepts and symbolisms, archetypes, and try to make that come to life through performance. And when I was doing all that, actually, I also found out I have this really rare blood type when I was donating blood.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. This actually all fits into the book. So I found out like 10 years ago that I have this really rare blood type, and 85% of the world population has like plus in their blood, and I have negative. And I was like, well, what does that mean? And there's like all these things, complications with pregnancies. And I was like, but that can't be. Like, as far as Darwin goes, I'm like, it's all about procreation. I've got wide hips. I'm really good. Like, I should be the prime species.
Oh, so you're just born for making babies.
Yeah. I was like, well,
you're built for making babies.
Oh, what's wrong with me? And I started researching it more. And I found like the Book of Enoch and like Dead Sea Scrolls, like all these like ancient texts of like the Nephilim and how these angels procreated with the human race, and they created like a different bloodline and like the Nephilim and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, that's me, you know. And they brought the concept of alchemy and metallurgy and makeup and magic to humans, and I was like, oh, that's me. So I'm an artist. Artists are weirdos. We have these fantastical kind of worldviews. So I just kind of took that on, and a lot of my performances revolved around feather fans and doing, you know, that's why you have the little icon down there, and had the halo, and like I just started doing these like Nephilim type things and alchemical kind of concepts. And I always thought like Lady Alchemy is kind of like a superhero, you know. I live in New York City. It's like Gotham City, running around in the middle of the night with like costumes, you know, and I love the like sexy comic book babes and their thick thighs and everything. I was like, I have that, like, yes, you know. So I just kind of felt that life, and I bumped into a guy when I was performing. I don't know if you know who he is. His name's like Greg Welch or something like that. Welch. I don't know. And he took like, what's her name? The lady that was married to Ice-T, Coco.
Oh, Coco.
And like he did Adrian Curry, who was like the first like winner of, what is it called? The modeling thing.
Yes, yeah.
With
she was like,
Next Top Model, America's Next Top Model. Yeah. And like, and he turned them into comic book characters, and we like had a chat about it. And I was like, yeah, I really want to do Lady Alchemy as like a comic book character. But, you know, he broke it down about inking, coloring, letter, like all these things and how much it costs. I was like, yeah, I don't have that kind of money. It's not happening.
Yeah.
Indiegogo.
And then like Comicsgate happened, and this whole community, I got blacklisted, you know. So when my career ended as a performer because of my politics or whatever, if you can imagine how they are, they're like New York City art scene is just like really extreme leftist. So that kind of got ruined. So I was just kind of like, you know what, maybe this is a time to make my dream of the comic book thing come to life. And I already have that story in place. We've got Nephilim blood. We got, you know what I mean? Like we have New York City's, you know, skyline. We've got all these things in place, and alchemy. And I just thought it was a really great kind of concept, and it got to keep Lady Alchemy alive. So it made me really happy to do. And then Indiegogo happened. So,
that's cool.
Yeah,
so then how did you actually get into, like you said earlier, like that your body was a canvas, you know, so you got into performance art. How did you get into performance art?
So I was tutoring math at the math lab, not the meth lab, the math lab. And I was going to be a math teacher. And the math lab is such a fun place. I love it. Basically, like a whole room of computers where people would just come in college and ask for help, whatever subject they needed. And if you took the course and you're qualified to tutor it, you would just help them with problems. But if there was no one coming in for math help and you're like on duty and for those hours, there was nothing to do. So you either get paid to do your math or physics homework, or I would go online, and I was like, let me like research, like doing some modeling stuff, you know. And models like a really skinny, you know, they have that really like tall, skinny shape and all that. So I've never really like been fully accepted in the modeling industry. Maybe now, because now they like big girls in the modeling industry.
Or like just like normal looking.
Right. I have like the curvy hip, like the superhero like body, and that's not a model body. So I was really into, and I like vintage clothes, obviously. And so I got into the New York Pinup Club, is what it's called. So I used to do pinup photo shoots for the New York Pinup Club. And of course, the New York Pinup Club also started putting on burlesque shows at the Bowery Poetry Club. And that really piqued my interest when they asked me, do you want to start performing? Because modeling is okay. No, you know, not knocking it, but I am more of a dancer. I am more of a performer. Like my art is in motion, and modeling was just very limiting for me. So it was scary, but I was like, okay, you know, I don't know if you guys have been on stage before, but first time you do it, actually every time I do it, I get stage fright every time. So but the first time that first time you take that leap, though, I was kind of like, am I really going to do this? But I mean, without risk, there's no opportunity. So I was like, okay, let's do it. And then it just snowballed from there.
That's awesome. So then I just want to bring this up. So then, because I've seen you, I followed you on Twitter for years, and all that. And then you had mentioned it that, and again, you mentioned today that you were blacklisted from, the art scene, the New York art scene, because they're so, together and sane. But like because you said, oh yeah, I'm voting for Trump. And that basically started the whistle, or did you just maybe asked a question, or something like that?
Right. I think I replay this over and over in my head. I wasn't an idiot. I knew that these were all super lefty. I hear the conversations in the dressing room. I don't agree with a lot of stuff they're saying and I knew how they were. I've always been a Republican because my family's first generation American. They came from former Yugoslavia, where my mother always bitched about communism and all sorts of stuff.
Because she experienced it.
Yeah. And I don't know, we're just Croatians are also, I'm Croatian technically. And, Croatians are super Catholic. Obviously, with what I do, it was kind of like, ooh, taboo. But then getting into alchemy, I kind of started to see, my Catholic roots like in a new light, because there's a lot of Christian base of it's a Western thing with a lot of base of Christianity and alchemy. I started having more respect for it, but like I've always just been Republican, or that's how I was raised. But I knew to keep it quiet, and I'm really sensitive and really emotional. So backstage, just keep it quiet. Sometimes I would kind of say things like I'd have a gig up in like Buffalo for New Year's Eve. It's like, Buffalo, New York. It is snowing, windy. It's so cold up there, especially for like January 1st or December 31st. And I remember taking my luggage, and my agent had a group of us go out to Buffalo to perform for some casino. So it was a group I knew, and we fly out there, and the person picking us up in the van, I'm lugging up my like luggage of costumes, and I'm like, oh, is there a man that can help me with this?
Nice.
And of course you have the lady, we don't need men, like things like that.
Yeah.
So it was like, I was sometimes.
And you're like, no, I need someone because it's this heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, like, men have more upper body strength. It is what it is. Like, what do you want me to do about it? And second of all, it's nice to kind of men feel. I got to help a cute girl, like it makes them feel like let's.
Yeah, you like a guy to hold the door open for you to walk on the outside of the street when you walk. Yeah.
Right. So like those kinds of things, I started to notice like we weren't meshing, and I replay it in my head if there was something that could have been different, because I wasn't openly like supporting Trump, because I knew that was really taboo. I knew that would freak everybody out, and I don't want to fight. I'm so emotional. Like my heart rate would go like this if anyone fights with me. Like I'm really sensitive to it, so I avoided it. But I don't think replaying it in my head that it would have been any different, because I would have outed myself somehow without realizing, like the little comments, the little things that I say or that they say, or my response to what they say would have triggered something where they would attack me about. So they found out, just because no one knew my real name. No one knew Martina Markota. It didn't exist out there on the internet or in the real world. Our stage names are our stage names. Like there are performers out there, I don't know their real names. There was only one time I was in the office of this theater that I worked at, where they do the paychecks, and someone saw my name on my paycheck, and they go, "Your name's Mark. Like that's really pretty." Like they had no idea, and they knew me. They just didn't know my real name.
Yeah.
So I decided, I'm sick of holding all this stuff in, and I felt like it was poisonous to kind of be like, I can't express myself during 2016. That I decided, let me use my real name and kind of get involved in that way. But they connected the dots and doxed me, essentially.
It's amazing,
It's incredible.
Especially like you say things like what a lady would say. I guess they don't want ladies anymore.
Right.
You're a female, which is awful. I like ladies. Don't you like ladies, Scala?
Yeah, I do.
And I like men, manly men, and ladies. And I remember backstage too, before I met my husband, it was like it's tough dating in New York City, man. Ooh, tell you, like the men and the women are all messed up in these big cities. And I remember just being like, oh, I need to find a man. I'm like 30, I want to have kids. So like if I find a guy like tomorrow, how long is that going to take for me to date someone? And then like, when is this happening? Let's go.
Yeah.
And I remember a girl back there being like, we don't need men. Men are accessories. And I was like, you don't need children. I'm like, oh my God, like We're not on the same page here.
Get out of here. It's crazy. Like, remember, like, when, like, you know, if you were like Republican or Democrat, you can like just kind of have fun with someone in debate, and like half the time you laugh about it or whatever, but it just went to like a complete just like line drawn in the sand, like, nope, unacceptable, can't talk to you, bye, you're canceled, see you later, push you off the cliff. And it's like, what happened?
Well,
like, it's absolutely insane. You get it for a couple of years, we get it for a couple of years, you know. It's like, it was just how it was, how it is. Like, all of a sudden it turned into like craziness.
I thought we could have like a decent conversation, and when they would kind of create a problem when they found out in the dressing room about it and try to kind of do this whole thing, I would, oh, well, you know, try to make my point about it. And then eventually they're like yelling at me, and I'm just kind of like, well, you know, agree to disagree. Like, I tried to do that whole thing, and it was just like, oh my God, this is really bad. It just got to a point where they like were like, she can't work here. Get her out of here. And I'm like, well,
they were doing that in comics. They did that to me during the Obama years because they had so much invested in him emotionally, Barack Obama. I'd never seen anything like it. Like I said, I voted for Reagan in '84 when I just turned 18. If you criticize the president that he did something, and he fucked up a lot of things, you know, my God, they took it personally. Like, it struck them emotionally. They had
you're a racist if you.
Yeah, that's what they call you. If you just criticize a public servant, you're a racist. Right. And this is what they did. And I told the story the other night, and forgive me for repeating it, but I remember when I was up for, there was a big DC project, and everyone said that it would have been perfect for me to do. And he's like, well, what about Billy? Billy would be great. And the editor's like, I'm going to hire Billy. The guy's a fucking Republican.
Right.
And that was 2012. That wasn't even, that was 4 years before Trump.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's how insane that the comics industry has just slowly eroded since then.
Yeah.
And now look, the mainstream comics industry, the big two, the culture there, it's terrible. It's
unrecognizable, you know, like it's just, and I feel you. And I know that even a lot of Republicans nowadays and the Trump people nowadays, they're not a huge fan of George W. or anything. And I'm not saying he was perfect either. He's totally New World Order and all that. However, being a Republican, and I was in high school at the time, I just remember, and then I graduated and he was still president. But I remember they were like, he was racist. He was the worst like person ever. Like, do you remember the Bush days? It was really bad.
They drew him like a monkey with his giant ears.
It was bad.
He had a cartoon making fun of him on Comedy Central.
And I just remember thinking, like, you guys are going a bit overboard. Is he like a retard, like you say, like the Bushisms, or is he a super genius who masterminded 9/11? Which one? Make up your mind, you know? And it was like, I remember kind of defending him just because it was so out of whack, and I was a Republican anyway. But I was like, oh, he'll be vindicated in time, whatever. He's not as bad as they're all making him out to be. I had no idea that all it would take is a few more years, 2016, when like George W., they're fine with him.
They lionized John McCain when he died, but when he was running for president, they had that I don't think it was an Annie Leibovitz photo of him, and he looked like the Prince of Darkness for his Time magazine cover or whatever. Like, just
and then Palin. Oh, she was a bimbo. She's dumb. Talk about feminism. Talk about breaking the glass ceiling. Look at what you did to poor Palin in 2000. We could have had a vice president in 2008. That was a woman.
Yeah, it's just sad how they lose their minds. But then they're also the ones that they'll never engage with a real conversation with you. I find that. I have friends that do that. They're very smart, but the ones that are against the woke culture, and they believe it or not, there are some Democrats that are.
I agree.
Against.
Oh yeah.
And I agree. I know some Democrats. They're certainly not Republican or right wing and don't like Trump, but they are like, this is getting a bit much. And it's really nice, especially in the art world, when I collaborate with people that aren't necessarily Republican. I don't want to do all Republican people and surround myself around Republicans. It's really, really refreshing to be around. Like, I'm used to leftists. Like, I just am in my field, and I miss the old school Democrats that are just like, that woke shit's a bit much, but don't really care for your guy either. Cool. let's make art.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. And you know,
classic liberals. That's what we like. The classic liberals.
And I don't know about you guys, but I've never unfriended anybody for politics.
Me neither. Ever. I've never unfriended anyone for really anything, to be honest with you.
Oh, I did. I had a dude on Facebook. Some dude called one of my high school friends an F and C, and she's like a mom. She was a mom. She had a little baby, and she's a sweetheart, you know. And I'm like, you little bastard. So I blocked him or unfriended him, whatever I did.
Goodbye.
You know, well done. So,
Crazy.
But anyway, so Martina, Brian Blevins had asked a question. I want to know too. What's up with the Union Jack behind you, and why do you hate the Scottish?
Wow. My husband is British, and we're in America, so of course he needs to rep his Union Jack.
That's why you guys hate the Scottish.
I don't know where the Scottish thing comes into play.
No,
is it with the flag? Is it missing like a?
No, it's there. This is the Cross of St. Andrew. We had a show a few months ago, and Tom Lennon from Reno 911, if you know him, he's a big writer. He was in the Odd Couple with Matthew Perry and all. He read my DNA because I did Ancestry. I got Ancestry, and I found out I'm 31% Scottish now. So I'm going full tilt being Scottish, driving my wife crazy.
Oh yeah,
it's all the way. So
aren't you more Scottish now? Because they send you updates as they get more DNA from people.
Around, they do the initial one and then they do a real deep dive. And now I went from 24% Scottish to 31% Scottish.
Wow! So you got to eat a lot of fried food.
Yeah,
that's what you got to do. Just deep fry everything.
Lots of haggis.
Yeah. Oh, I actually love haggis. It's not legal in America. I don't know if you've had it, but
I've never had it.
I actually really like it. I make haggis.
Haggis.
Yeah, haggis is a Scottish thing. It's encased in like some sort of intestine or something.
Yeah.
Well, what's stuffed in it?
Jack is like, it's originally English. Just saying. That's what he just said through the door.
I'm English too. I think I'm 5% Welsh and like 6% English too.
Oh, Welsh is lovely. Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
So
that's funny.
Twinkies.
I need to rep more American flags. He keeps loading this place up with British flags. I've got like Boris over here. Like,
that's what they do, Martina. See, that's what they do.
Oh, it's stuffed sheep's stomach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what are they stuffing with? Sheep?
No, there's like some barley or oats. Or, barley and like, is there blood in there, Jack? Is it kind of? Yeah, it's like black pudding, which is like coagulated blood.
Basically, meat pudding boiled in sheep's stomach.
Oh, what's haggis?
Haggis is like oats and barley and fat.
Oh, I like his voice.
Fat, yeah.
He
Bring him on.
Voiceovers. We should do voiceovers.
He's like that voice that just like appears.
It's so wise.
Yeah.
What's the weather going to be tomorrow?
Yeah.
Rainy.
Yeah.
He's so smart. He could just say it like, "Oh, the sky is blue." Like, he's so smart. He's so intelligent. So okay, Martina, I have to ask you: was it the accent that had a lot to do with it? Was it? Because
I actually didn't even know he was British. I met him. I saw him online, and I was like, "Look at this dapper young man," and just went through the whole list. And he's like into politics. I was like, "Oh, you can't date me. I'm a burlesque dancer." He's like, "No, I like the arts. I get it." And he's like, "I like Yoko Ono and shit. I like art." I'm like, "Okay, cool."
Right, so that's a problem right there. That he's English and he likes Yoko Ono.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
Yeah,
and then what was the next thing on the list? I was like, so where do you live? And he's like, England. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, that's way too far. And he's like, no, I love New York. I want to come to New York. I'm like, okay, let's do this.
Nice.
It's funny. I ended up in England for a few years, so didn't expect that one.
Now, where in England is he from, and where did you guys live?
He's from the north. The north.
Near Scotland.
I guess so. Yeah, I still have a hard time with the map, even though it's so tiny. Yeah, we lived all over the place. Actually, we lived in a lovely town near London called St. Albans. He calls it a city. Okay, there he goes in the background, calling it a city. Town. It was a cute little town. He insists it's a city because there's a cathedral, but it's a town. And then, does he have a strange blue bot? Yeah, it's funny. I like that. And then we did go up north, the greater Manchester area. So we've been a little all over there. Yeah.
Excellent.
Awesome.
All right, so let's talk
check out
Lady Alchemy. Let's check out her campaign.
Check it out. Yes,
Check it
yes.
out.
So this is back in motion. There's a bit of a hiatus, but now you guys are full steam ahead in production and getting this book ready. What is your goal for, really quick, for anyone out there that's curious, what is your goal for fulfillment? When are you looking to get these into the hands of backers?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question because it's a lot of people felt like, okay, is this happening or not? But so far, I am about 10 pages away from coloring. All the inking is complete. Up to 30 pages of coloring is complete. I'm having Eric Weathers do the lettering. So I hear he's a pro. He'll just bang that out in a day. So I'm not worried about like the lettering getting done in the time frame of that. I'm basically just waiting on the 10 pages of coloring, which is taking a bit. But, you know, I'm going to let the colorist do what he does. Really, I don't know. Do any of you guys like, Billy, you draw, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I write and draw. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know really any of that. I just created it and hired people, and they're really trustworthy, this team this time around. So I'm just letting them do what it is. But I really don't know. Maybe a few more months it'll be all done. And then printing takes a little bit of time because then you got to get the proofs to make sure it looks good, you know?
Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's
a lot of work.
Yeah. If it was easy, not everyone would do it.
Yeah.
And that's have to look at it. And you wait, when this comes out, you are going to be so it's such a feeling of fulfillment, if you will.
Right. Yeah.
Of a sense of accomplishment. It's really great.
Yeah. Right. Let's check out your campaign video.
Okay, wait. So are you playing it right off that or
Yes.
Okay. So if you don't mind, I should have told you to prep this earlier. This music, I wanted to make sure it was like copyright free and all that stuff. So I had it like made, but I prefer the version that I have on my YouTube, the Lady Alchemy YouTube.
All right, I'll pull.
There's going to be a bunch of hit pieces. It's going to be a bunch of hit pieces. So just go off screen and find the Lady Alchemy YouTube channel, and then you'll find it.
Okay.
Don't show it on camera. Don't search on camera. Sorry, I should have told you that ahead of time. I just like that version on my YouTube better.
All right. Keep talking, Billy, while I do this.
And I'm going to have a smoke. Well, it's not a joint. It's tobacco. So don't worry about
it.
That's
okay.
Jeez. Well, let me tell you something, Lady Alchemy. I think I have to have my pipe.
Okay, let's do it.
I'm going to find my tobacco.
You're going to light your pipe.
Oh,
nice. Smoke a pipe. Nice. Okay, we got our tobacco session. Everybody, you're off it?
I love my pipe.
Oh, you love it?
Yeah, I love it.
I love smoking too.
It smells so great, and I'm actually, well, I smoke it up here in my studio all the time, but every New Year's Eve, my wife doesn't kill me if I smoke it down by the fireplace in the foyer.
Oh, the foyer.
All right, I found the one on your page. It's from a year ago. It has 973 views. Is that the one?
I think so. If it looks exactly the same, it's the Indiegogo promo video, but it's on the YouTube page. That's the one.
Okay.
Cool.
Some person, I like a black Cavendish. I don't know what the brand is. It comes in a big bag from my cigar shop. But
pipe tobacco smells so lovely. I love the smell of it.
So good. Especially now. Now's the time. Scala, when are you going to get a pipe?
I don't know. I thought someone was going to gift me one. I guess I'll just have to get my own.
will gift you one, buddy. Then there you go.
All right, let's check out the video. That was an incredible video.
That looks great. What a great
That was
video.
that should be like a motion comic. Like I was like like I could have watched that whole thing. The book
Thank
is
you.
I love the interiors on the book.
Thank you. Yeah, it's probably one of the more avant-garde kind of promo videos. It's not really talking and explaining too much, but you know, I do video editing, and like I said, visual performing arts is my thing, and I wanted to make sure that I included the real Lady Alchemy in it to show that it's like a real person. So I could re-edit it and include like all that other stuff, but like comic book version. I might do a promo like that now that I have more artwork done. But I really like to add a little bit of the real Lady Alchemy in there, you know? I think it adds a little something.
It's always cool. Like I think when you have books like this where it becomes very immersive because it's the creator is like the same person in the book or plays the character, and it's cool because it brings a different depth to what you're creating.
Yeah, and I know that it can seem a bit weird, but like I said, I view Lady Alchemy as like its own character. Like I don't view it as like me. Like let's do a book about me, because Martina is like a nerd. You know, I'm a math nerd. I'm just like you. My husband always laughs because I look like a hobo whenever we're like going to the store or whatever. But Lady Alchemy, I talk like about her in the third person. It's its own kind of creation. I mean, it's like Lady Gaga. No, Stephanie, whatever her name is like her own real life, probably normal person, but when she performs, it's Lady Gaga. So that's kind of how I view it. Yeah, I don't know if you want me to explain a little bit more of the story.
Yeah, please go into let's go into the story and everything.
Yeah, so as you can see, the skyline, it's New York City. She's a performer. That's why you saw some of the pages. She's going to work. Yeah, it included some of the real Lady Alchemy there. But yeah, if you go down, let's see, that's page 1 up there. And then, yeah, that one, page 6 is that I gave the artist, Dario, he's fantastic. He worked with like Dark Horse and did all sorts of stuff. He's a great guy. And Dario Carrasco from Panday Studio. And I sent him a bunch of images of Lady Alchemy backstage. And what I love about it is that he included everything. This is literally what it looked like in my theaters working backstage. We got midgets, we had contortionists stretching back there, we had drag queens, we have, babes. It was just like this crazy atmosphere that was just so normal to me. Every night this was what I went to backstage.
That's incredible, because like you really think like, okay, this was depicted this way, and they were thinking, but you're like, no, this is just basically how it was.
That's how it was, and that's what I wanted to depict, is that like the craziness of it, and just like my real life like story is it's bizarre, and it just, you didn't need to really go crazy with it. That's what it was. Or I felt like a lot of the times too, when I was trying to get artists to draw this stuff, they did it a little bit more lame than what it really was. And that's why I was really pumped that Dario did it right, because I was like, yes, this is it. Normally they just have, let's have girls backstage in lingerie. And I'm like, no, it wasn't that lame. It was fucking crazy. We had midgets. We had all sorts of stuff. And this was also, and I have pages down there when you scroll down, but this was also, Dario did a great job. I sent him a lot of reference material of my actual performance. This was the Fallen Angel Nephilim performance that I did on stage. And I gave him videos, I gave him photos, and he just did this one big splash page collage of, and I like that there's like motion in it, and you can see, how the performance was. I think he really did a great job. I'm happy with it. And the lighting.
Is that a double page spread or a splash?
That's a splash page. There's another page that goes to the performing thing, but I didn't put it up there. I want a little something for people to wait for.
Give him everything. Can't give him everything.
Exactly. You gotta give him just little snippets. That's it.
Yeah.
Little treats.
Okay, so in the video you saw like some action happen. I'm leaving the club, then I'm in an alleyway, and some guys are like taking some blood from me and stuff. And that's kind of like that superhero moment where it's like something dramatic happens. It's out of the ordinary. She's a girl, she's performing, and then in an alleyway, these masked men kind of do something, and she's like, what the fuck? And something drives her to go to this bookstore, something that they said while they were doing it. And so this is when you were emailing me, Billy, too. Your email said like William in it. And there's a character in my book named William. He's very dear to me. He's based off of my late ex-step-grandfather. So he's not blood related to me, but he is like the grandfather that I know. And he died. He was like a math professor at Siena. He was very, very dear to me, old man. And I made him in my book. And basically, I go to a bookstore where he kind of talks to me and advises me about what happened and gives me this MUTUS LIBER book. And the MUTUS LIBER is a real alchemical text that I actually saw in person and held in my hands in real life. So it's really, really cool. It was written in like, I don't know, 1700s.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, really cool. And I went to some book fair in New York City and I like held it. I was like, oh my God, it's the MUTUS LIBER. And I like held it in my hand and everything was really cool. And so that book kind of guides me towards the alchemical process. And this is where I'm starting to kind of practice some of the spells and rituals. Yeah, on the roof there, which I also did live in a top floor apartment in Brooklyn where I could go on the roof. And it was really cool. So it's just like super fun.
Yeah.
This is where, okay, I don't want to give too much away either, but whatever. The magical rituals and things and these like people that try to kind of lure me to the dark side or to things or whatever, they kind of use this performing aspect. It's like performing to me is like a ritual. I always viewed performing on stage as like a spell, because when you have everybody's attention and their energies focused on you, what am I'm taking it in and what do I do with it? You know? And so I have some entities that want me to kind of take this energy for like the wrong reasons. And then something happens on stage, and that's where I call upon the archangels. And what's really cool about this book is that it does have a lot of my study of alchemy like in it. And if you know about like magical rituals, there's like the LBR ritual, which you summon the archangels, which is also why if people are like religious or whatever, they're like, oh, that's bad, alchemy, magic, bad stuff. I'm like, everything I've studied so far has like angels, like it has good things in it.
Yeah.
I don't see any harm in, you know, calling upon the archangels to help me and protect me. And that was in real rituals. So archangels are, you know, Michael, Oriel, Gabriel, Raphael are in there, and they help me at times.
Very cool.
That's awesome. I love the spiritual aspects of it too.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is William, the old man, and you know, in his bookstore and stuff, which I love. I love books and things.
What is he giving you?
Yeah, I know.
What is that?
What is that?
Key. No, yeah, he's giving me what I wanted also in this book was the duality of New York City, the city life, where there's like all these energies kind of pounding at you, and then upstate. So he gives me the keys to his barn upstate. This again, I gave my artist all the pictures and everything. I was like, upstate, we got autumn, beautiful colors and all that. And so I go and something about alchemy and spiritual experiences too is becoming one with nature. So getting out of the city and going into nature to kind of do this alchemical study is what happens here. And my powers.
I really love the artwork. Like it all flows properly.
Yeah.
Like what you're trying to have the reader experience visually, you're giving them. You know, you're getting that. I don't want to say haunting, but you're getting more of a magical type vibe to the book. You know. Yeah,
and also I'd like to. Sorry, what was that?
No, I'm saying I love it's got the occult aspects too, but then you have your spiritual aspects. So it's like this celestial battle of good and evil.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And I wanted to include some real pictures that I gave my artist to show the viewers. Like, you see what he drew just then, like, it's the real deal. It's me. Okay,
that video, in your video, you have some amazing, the amazing art, those beautiful shots of you. What were those creepy, disturbing things crawling on the ground they were like in black?
Right. So I did
terrifying.
I did a performance. So
that was you?
What?
That's you?
What, on the ground?
Yeah, doing that.
Yeah, that was me.
Oh,
That was one of my performances. If you go to my website, lady-alchemy.com, it's a performance art piece that I did in 2014, which I called Negretto. And it's also in the book as well. When I do this alchemical study, there's basically 4 phases of the alchemical process. And the first one is Negretto, is a blessing. And it's come face to face with demons. It's a blackening. It's coming face to face with demons and stuff like that. It's the dark phase, and it's a really difficult point, facing your demons, facing your flaws, doing all these things. And so I have this performance art piece where it kind of emulated that kind of idea in this crazy performance, and I had black stuff everywhere. It's really, I don't know. It's one of my best things that I've done. And so when I did the video for the comic book, at the time of the promo, I didn't have that artwork done yet. Mm-hmm. And so I said, oh, well, I'll use my Negretto performance to depict what I have in the book. And in the book, it's similar with these black kind of tentacle things that happen because, like I said, when I go on stage and these bad forces are trying to kind of get me to do this ritual performance for not the right reasons. There's a demon called Nibarius, which if you look it up, it's a real demon too. And it kind of lures you. And the thing about demons, it's not like this obvious bad guy. It's like sometimes people also they want to do dark magic or be a part of something nefarious because it's some sort of power to it. There's some sort of lore about it. And this demon is kind of seducing by crawling around and trying to lure you. Nibarius, if you look it up, actually does give you the power of, creativity and this fame and power that way. So it is a real demon. It's considered visually a demon that has 3 wolf head type things, but it has the raven kind of claws, and it has a dark kind of oily sense. There's senses and things about it, and it is kind of alluring, especially to someone like Lady Alchemy, because you want to have that creative fame and power and all that, and it's very difficult to go no good, I don't want to succumb myself to something else. It has to come from my own self, not another entity. So yeah,
it looks great. It
Thank
really
you.
does.
It's an absolutely stunning
who's
book.
coloring this?
Yeah, the colorist is fantastic. He's not a normal comic book colorist, which I don't think it looks like it. And I worry sometimes that I'm are people going to not get it? Are they going to want the normal comic book coloring? But I wanted, Lady Alchemy is very avant-garde and all that. So I just felt that this colorist did a really good job to add that element of weird, something different to it, because the inking is a normal comic book, but then I wanted the colors. His name's Miko. Gotta find his last name. He's Polish, but he doesn't really do comic books. He does art and stuff. He does those pages where he sells his art. It's a really great guy. I should link his stuff more. Got to make sure on the contract what I looked at, how I promote him, how exactly he wants to be promoted.
What's up, Ethan?
What's up, bro?
Oh, hell yeah!
And you have to look different. You have to be different. You have to stand out from the crowd.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. I mean, that's what you want to do. That's what sets you apart. That's what's going to set Lady Alchemy apart. Now, what does MUTUS mean?
MUTUS LIBER. Yeah. So it's Latin for the mute book. And like I said, it's a real alchemical text. It's basically, this is what I found to be interesting too, is that it's actually a picture book. It means the mute book because there's no words in it. So I kind of like that because a comic book is a picture book. Yeah. So I was it's kind of cool because this alchemical mute book is also in a visual kind of book. So things just fit together. It was really cool. Yeah.
Nice. And then you have a cover here too.
Yeah. So Pablo Romero is a good friend of mine, and that was can you make me something? So he does the really great babes and the vintagey kind of look. Not exactly sure what I'm going to do with it, but I do have, oops, I do have like this thing. I do have a thing printed out though, so it's
nice.
really cool. Like my friend Matthew printed this out. And
nice.
I don't know. I think I might just do some additional prints or whatever. I don't know.
Definitely do prints. We do really well with prints.
Yeah.
The thing is, now you don't have to do them large. We do them large, but you can even do small size so that it's the same size as your comic.
Right.
You can ship it all in the same box because it gets expensive. You know, it does.
Yeah, everything adds up, man. I think I am going to do a few different prints, even kind of like what you showed in the promo, not my promo video, but your promo video of some of my photography that I did with the hand and all that stuff. I think it'll be fun to add a little bit of the real Lady Alchemy in there, like little inserts to put in there. Yeah, but speaking of the MUTUS LIBER, so I came across, I really like, up in the Hudson Valley is really big with antiques and I like vintage. I love antiques. I mean, look at my office. I just love old things. Oh shit. And so I came across this thing that I thought would be really perfect for a perk idea. And it's an antique mid-century wood.
I saw it on Twitter.
Yeah, it's wood with gold leaf, and it's like a old book box thing. Oh, oops, I have something in there. And and I just thought this would be really cool because it's kind of like a MUTUS LIBER thing, and it's a real antique. Like I'm not just selling tat, you know, like it's not just like
you just have the one though, right?
What?
You just have the one?
Yeah, this is a one of a kind.
So
like
that's
you're not gonna find another. Like I went and I found like a proper like high-end antique place and found this. It's made in Italy. It's an Italian. I gotta find. Shoot, where's my sheet? I should have got the sheet out with me. It's like an Italian old wooden box, like gold leaf like thing. And I figure I could add some really cool items inside of it and kind of include it as a special part, which is not on the page yet because I literally just got it. And I didn't know if I was going to make it public yet until I finished the book or not. Because I'm just sick of like putting things out there and being like, we got this, we got that. I want to get the book done. That's my priority. Right. But I just can't help it when I get excited. So this thing came in the mail today and I was like, cool, the gold box came in.
We can do both, you know.
Yeah.
You got to multitask anyway, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we do. So.
But it's just really cool. It's like an antique. It's really cool. And I figure I could fill it up with some really fun things and items and make it a special perk. But yeah, like I said, it's one of a kind. It's not something you could find. It's
Have you ever been to Church's house way up farther up north, up the Hudson?
Alana.
Is that he's the landscape artist who made like very Moorish? Scala, have you ever been up there?
I have not.
I have it in a book. We saw it. My son went to school up there, and we were driving back and we saw it. But have you been there?
Yeah, if you're talking about Alana, I think it's Frederick Church.
Yeah.
And you're talking about he's the Hudson River School of Art artist. Lovely estate. Yeah. I mean, the Hudson Valley is beautiful, which is why I wanted to include it in the book of like having that getaway. Like it's amazing. Yeah, I love it.
That would be a nice, for future for Lady Alchemy too. You know, a little setting there. It's gorgeous, Scala. It's unbelievable.
We must go, Billy. We must go. We must go. So what's the future for Lady Alchemy?
Ooh, good question. I don't know how much I should give away or not. I don't know. I get like freaked out because sometimes I don't mean to sound really cocky, but my ideas are so brilliant. Sometimes people like to spill them, you know what I mean? But I guess
watch out for this guy.
But I guess I'm saying it publicly here.
Keep it to the vest. Don't
another book, some performing.
Okay, good question. Okay, I'll keep it very vague. Yes, I have another book idea. Again, priority is book one. getting that done finally, getting it to the hands of the backers finally, and just making that happen. But while I'm sitting here waiting for the colorist to do his thing, what else can I do when I have like this idea in my noggin? And it's really exciting. It's going to go in another direction, and I can't wait to tell you guys about it. It's going to be very immersive. So book 2 is going to be really cool. I still have to sort out the whole story and all that, but the idea, the concept of it, the theme of it, I'm like, got it. It's going to be super immersive. I love it. And as far as the performance for Lady Alchemy, yeah, I have. Jack, I can see your reflection.
Get out of here, Jack.
Who's the handsome man? We love seeing Jack's reflection.
I'm like looking around like, where's this reflection?
Because Nile is really into paranormal. So now, Nile, if you had seen that, you would have been like, what is that behind her?
Yeah, it was like...
Well, my trained eyes knew it was a human being.
Oh, did it? Oh, sorry.
Come on.
But as far as performing goes, yeah, I'm working on some stuff. I was excited to the other week do that photo shoot. I do my own portraits, so that was my own photography. I mean, I love to take portraits of other people too. I just don't have another subject other than myself. So I just think of different photo shoot ideas for Lady Alchemy, and I want to... I've been trying for years and years and years with photographers to like get more into the alchemy concepts, but for some reason photographers just like want to take a pretty picture. And I'm like, I'm so sick of goddamn pretty pictures. Like, I want to do some really alchemy type shit. So it's exciting that I get to do my own photography, do it the way that I want, and really explore those themes a bit more. So I foresee more Lady Alchemy photography and videography. With more of those alchemical themes. So that's exciting. And also, I have 2 other things for Lady Alchemy that I'm working on. I want to start making some original music, but I am trained classically to read music. I can play the flute. I own a flute. I played the clarinet. I know how to play a little piano because I grew up with one, and I know how to read music. But I want to do like experimental music. You know, avant-garde, weird, like drone sounds, like what you heard in my promo video.
Yeah.
Like just like
Philip Glass and stuff. And I used to do all of that stuff all the time.
Yeah. Like using reel-to-reel tape, like getting cassette tapes and making loops and doing weird music.
I got a little bit of a friend here. If you guys don't mind, I'd like to have him pop in. Is that okay?
Cool.
Awesome.
I like that. Hello. Martina. Wait,
Hi,
let me do that again. Hold on. Martina. Hello.
Ben.
How are you?
I'm well. Thank you. I'm well.
Yeah. Ethan, you are looking very English today.
Yes.
Righto. How are you, gentlemen?
We're great, man. We're great. Thank you for joining.
Righto.
So
Yes.
I think, you know what I think you could also do, Martina? I think you could do, with all those amazing photographs you have and all that you could play with the effects with in Photoshop stuff, you could do a gallery book, comic book size or whatever, and you can, now that the campaign's got a second wind, you can actually launch it as a new perk.
Yeah.
And 32 pages. I mean, you have stunning photos. I mean,
thank you. And amazing. I mean, that's the thing too about photographing myself. It's not only do I have the creative, control, but the photographer owns the copyright. So I 100% own my images when I do it myself. So I could print, I could sell, I could do whatever I want if I take my own photographs. So that's what's really exciting about it.
Billy, those photographs I took of you, though, like she's saying, I own them 100%.
Yeah, I friggin' know that. I did not know that at the time.
Unless you have a contract.
I needed the money. You know,
I'm going to put out a calendar one day. Very sexy calendar. Billy Tucci.
Probably very evil, too.
It's called angles because he took it from different points.
That's right. He owns the copyright.
And well, right now, look, he's in the Joker's lair and Batman with a tilted camera. You look like a
it's called a Dutch angle, sir.
It is a Dutch angle. Yeah.
Van Sciver, representing my wooden shoed people. And they're what do they have over there? Tulips. I have tulips, Billy. Anyway, Martina, congrats. I hear you defeated the evil.
Thank you. I think, evil is hard to really rid yourself of. So far, so good. Yeah.
And now you're on full steam ahead with the campaign.
Yeah, and the campaign's doing great. I mean, she's over 53,000.
No way. Show me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's like the old campaign reinstated. But there's contributions coming in.
54.
Yeah, it's good.
If she hits 55, she hits 55, it's going to be like fire tonight.
Well, it could have been, easy to just run away and freak the fuck out, but like it's just I hope that everyone kind of goes, okay, it was a lot of bullshit, but she did it. She did whatever she had to do. So
yeah. Now tell us a little bit about your team though, because you're working with the Vonster. Everyone's out there asking in the chat, how's it working with him? They love him.
Yeah, this team is professional and fantastic. I should have just the first time around just gone with the Comics Cake crew or comic book professionals in general. But Vaughn is great. I think he's on his second one. He's doing another book right now or something. His first one did well, and very easy to work with. My whole team. And Dario, like I said, Dario Carrasco. He's from Panday Studio. It's his own company. He worked with Dark Horse. He's professional. He did, bangs it out, does it. Again, another professional. And Miko, the colorist, like I said, isn't really in the comic book world, but he's a Polish guy who does just amazing avant-garde kind of digital art, but he agreed to like color. And my favorite is the performance page, that that one, that fluid motion. You can see the detail that he put into see where the stage lights are going, and then arm is black, and then it's just the depth of the stage. I love it. I really love Miko. He adds that element, like I said, Lady Alchemy is avant-garde and has a weirdness to it, a little edge. And I'm really glad that I could not just make a basic comic book, but add that little Lady Alchemy edge to it. And that happened through the coloring.
Yeah.
Now you have we have Jasper Plan 9 said you have a great story behind this book that you shared on Michael Bancroft's show a while back. Is that what we talked about earlier on? I don't know if
I think so. Yeah.
We got the gist of it.
Yeah, I think we went through it all.
Come on, Jasper, Plan 9.
Yeah, but Ethan, look, Martina's a fighter, man.
I'm telling you, she is literally Lady Alchemy, and that she's turned stone hearts to gold. Everybody loves Martina.
Oh, stop.
Okay,
stop. Don't stop. Don't stop.
Just immediately stop. Somebody says stop, and you just bring it to a halt. Let's see what that's like. No, Martina, of course, she is a fighter, and I mean, it isn't easy. I don't know what it is, but the class of 2018 went through absolute hell. She's been there since the beginning, and it was very confusing for everybody what was going on. I mean, who even knew? But it's pretty neat to see this come to completion. I'm grateful for Von Klaus. I'm grateful that he put his time into this. And it's cool to see Martina coming back with something that looks complete.
Thank you.
Looks pretty good. How far away is it from completion, or is it complete?
We got 10 pages of coloring to do, and then it's done. And a cover.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, you guys.
It feels like the last leg. So it's kind of it's not a whole project in front of me anymore.
Yeah. I think it's really cool that this, you see this, this fantastic, stunning character, and it's real life. I love that. The character that they're going to fall in love with in the book actually exists, and you're going to play off that in more immersive ways. And that's
just like why I'm just so in love with crowdfunding and stuff in regards to that, because just the whole process is immersive. Yours takes it to a whole nother level because it's actually a character that you've been playing for years and modeled after, so it's even deeper than that.
Yeah, and I mean, I thought that there was a lot of depth to my performance character as Lady Alchemy, like as is, because like I said, most people, and I mean, I'm not hating, I love it. I love the old classic pinup vibe, and they just do the classic burlesque and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I really liked that I had like that added element of like alchemy in there, and like everything kind of had these symbols and different meanings and stuff. And then to bring that even more into a comic book where it's like, okay, now I'm modeling things after real life, but like adding that like alchemy plus like flipping things on its head. Like there are some real characters in this book that are parody, but they are modeled after real things that are people that affected me in my life, but I get to kind of have fun with it. So it's
Cool.
kind of like therapy in a way to do that, you know, like I turned like your shit, your blacklisting and your bullshit that you put me through, and I'm like selling books and making money off of it now, you know, like I turned this into gold. Like
that's right.
Says, like, so good job trying to fuck with me. Now I just turned it into gold.
And that's
did you change? Did all of this change who you are? How do you what's different about you now than 2018? And that's kind of a heavy question, but be honest and like dig deep. What do you think's changed about you?
I mean, honestly, I am a pushover, and like, not to get like heavy on you, but it's like there's more abuse that I've gone through in my life than people know about. I don't talk about things publicly. I don't talk about my personal life, my family life, like all sorts of stuff that like I've dealt with. But this situation and what happened with this book just kind of stopped all that. Like there's like, I now know how to recognize an abuser and like not putting up with that anymore. And it's nice to be able to just like do what I want to do. Because originally it was like I'm being pushed into a corner and people are using my name and using my brand and controlling what I do and how things are. And now I get to be in full control. I'm like, it's my story.
Right. As it should be. Because that's had to be what hurt. Because I missed the whole. I don't know the whole story of it. I mean, we went into what you could talk about, but that's got to be so painful. That this is a story about you. This is your character. The character is based on it. It's you. It's not like you created Union Jack Girl. You know what I mean?
Right.
You create. It's you, and then you had to go through this ordeal. And from what you just said to us, answering Ethan's question, it really seems that you came out the other side a hell of a lot stronger, like a real badass. Like you became Lady Alchemy.
Yeah.
Yeah, what she went through, I just want to say, I mean, you know, it's not a lot of people do come out of it. I didn't think Martina would. Sorry, Martina.
No, I understand.
I thought that whatever was going on, I thought they'd pretty much taken you out. So I salute you for getting through it. And that's when I ask a question like, how have you changed? Everybody who's still here in Comicsgate in 2021 is a completely different person. I feel like than they were just 3 years ago. Just because you realize you just see a lot of darkness in people, people that you want to trust, and people that that say that they're your friends and things like that. You find out that everybody has motives. A lot of people are double dealers. And you just end up realizing that the one person that you can really depend on is Billy Tucci. No, I mean you yourself. That's it. You're the only person who you can fully rely on, and then you just realize that you've got to do it pretty much all by yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing you say that, which is neat.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's just like we were saying, this isn't an IP that we're fighting over. We're fighting over my image and my trademark, my name, something I create. I didn't have children in my 20s. I created Lady Alchemy. That was my baby. And people on the right don't like to hear that. I want real babies too, obviously. But it's something I spent my entire 20s doing and creating, and it's literally my face. And for someone to just like try to take advantage of me, and then when it didn't work, go, well, I'm going to use the court system to try to just not let her draw her own face ever again, is crazy.
Yeah.
Like this is not an IP we're talking about. We're talking about he didn't want me to draw my own face with another artist ever again. Like, that is fucking crazy. And after what happened to me as a performer, what else do I have left? Like, you're not gonna win this. No, like, I don't care. Or I don't know. I'm either gonna go down in the ground or just like keep fighting to be able to be me, draw me.
And you are doing it now. What you have to do is, again, you've gotten this because very few people, and Ethan, right? Very few people get a second chance to make a first impression. Because if you started this back in 2018, there's a lot of people that may not be aware of Lady Alchemy now. So I think that you've got this new momentum going with you, you should start going on other shows and all, right? I mean, get out there.
My strategy is that, like, I want the book done. You know, the book is going to be done before I really go. I mean, you reached out to me, Billy, and I was like, yeah, sure, of course. We've been talking about doing something, and like, let's do it. I'm pretty close to the end, but I'm not going to go around trying to do anything hardcore until I have it in my hands, so that no one can say this is any sort of grift or con or whatever. Like, it's
Martina, come on back. Let's see what we can do. You know, I would equate all of this to you know, we're all in a boat and we're all kind of struggling to survive. Like those of us who do comics for a living. And Martina was in the boat in 2018 and sharks got her. And it's just like we went, bye, Martina. We all liked you. See you later.
I know.
And then suddenly she climbs right back into the boat. Yeah. I mean, that's like, I'm back. That's cool. That's really, really cool.
Thanks. And that's all I want to do is just like make people kind of, it's never going to be fully repaired because the damage is done. Like, how long this fucking took and all the bullshit that went along with it, the damage is never fully going to be repaired. But what I just hope is that I climb out of it and people kind of go, oh, well, that was pretty noble. Like, I'll give her credit for that. So that's really all.
Let's get this one done and let's do the next one. And you've got, it sounds like you've got good people around you who are capable of getting things done without fucking you over. So let's, you know, let's get the first one done. Let's get it out there and then let's start over again and get you 6 figures this time.
Yes, I'm done.
And she will, because the way this book looks, I think everyone who backed you will come back. And then again, and then people see that you actually made your product, you got it out there. You delivered it. And it's just going to go up. It's going to go up every campaign.
Yeah. I mean, luckily, a lot of people that were my backers actually also helped me with my lawsuit. So they were like, listen, I see what you're going through. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. So I'm really, really thankful for the backers. And that's really all it is. Like, there's no way I could just leave and go, sorry, you know, like all that support that everyone like gave me, like it is not for me. Like I told you earlier, I'm really sensitive and I'm really emotional. So like these things like really get to me, you know, like anyone just being like caring towards me. I just like, whenever I would get a backer or whenever I would get a donation for the lawsuit, like it would like bring me to tears being like, wow, like that's so nice. And I know that I get a lot of shit and a lot of abuse and like, especially this thing that I was dealing with, it was like, it was really like tormenting. And it just feels like the world like is against you. But like whenever there is that sort of kindness, it just really like moves me so much that there's no way I'm not going to deliver for the people that like helped support me this whole time. Like it's not happening. Even if they won, I'm giving them my book. Like, if my abusers won, I'm giving my backers my book. I don't care. What are you going to sue me again? Like,
And that's the attitude to have. That's the attitude to have.
I mean, that's great for your backers. You stood there, you fought for your, your creative rights and everything that you were doing, and you didn't give up. You fought it. Now you're back at it. The campaign's up. You're allowed to get more backers in. You're crushing it. And like Ethan said, I mean, really get this book done and move on to move right into the next. Get it going and cranking. You say there's damage that can't be repaired, but I mean, with Comicsgate and everything, I think you can, obviously. I think you can definitely sky high with this.
This next one is really exciting. I think Ethan's gonna be like, "That's a cool concept" when I bring it out. But I'm not going there until my shit's done.
Yeah, don't
Martina. I'll help you however I can. Okay, you know where I am.
Okay? Martina was just telling us, and just seeing from Twitter, she's had so much resistance and so much animosity towards her and cancellation of her. She's been
before comics
canceled, even before comics for the past decade or 5 years. Let's say half a decade, at least 5 years.
Yeah.
That it's time that that it's awesome that you're fighting, that you're sticking to your guns, and that you're coming out even bigger and stronger.
Thank you.
And you can't wait, and wait to that feeling when you see that last page comes.
Oh my God. I know.
But then, right, Ethan, then the real work starts.
What? Why?
Putting it together, printing it, but it's so satisfying.
It is fun. The film's fun. Well, Martina, I just wanted to say hi, and I'm proud of you, and good. Let's get in touch and let's see what we can do. And fellas, thank you, Niles. Thank you for sending me that link. I appreciate it.
Anytime, man. Love to have you on whenever you want.
Hey, brother. Thanks for last night. That was a fun show.
Yeah, it was. Thanks for being there. Bye.
See you later, buddy.
Bye, guys.
All right. Awesome.
Yeah. Well, we've been over an hour, Ethan. We're Ethan.
Yes, sir.
Niles, so we don't want to keep her all night long. We could do that.
Now, and everyone out there, I mean, share the campaign. It's there on Indiegogo. The link is pinned right to the top of the live chat. It's in the description below, along with other great campaigns. And really quick, we gotta pop this up. I hope you don't mind, Martina. But everyone out there, please, still while it's active and in demand, make sure to head on over to Indiegogo and back She Omnibus Edition Volume 1. It's still available while supplies last.
Yeah, because we got our numbers, our print order numbers. So we did print some overages, but we're gonna, I think once fulfillment starts to have my wife not divorce me, we're gonna we'll close the campaign. But this is the only time you can get it for $60, because once this campaign closes, the omnibuses are going to be $80. We already got the little barcode there, Scala.
Little barcode?
Barcode, yep. And the little ISBN number.
Nice.
So.
Nice.
I'm
in love with, what was it, the previous book you did last year?
Which one did I do? Yeah, I remember you said, it's the Return of the Warrior book.
Yes.
No, was it that one? No, it was like
She hiked you?
It was like a chick, and she was like stripping off her thing.
Oh, that was our 25th anniversary San Diego Comic-Con issue of She #1. I got to put that in my gallery book right now too.
I love it.
Yes. That was a fun. That was a fun, and because that cover was a winner, and when you do it, you're like, wow, this is a winner. You just know when something's good and something works.
Yeah, I like the simple, but sexy. Like, it's good. It's good.
Billy's a master of pinups.
Yeah.
Billy is the master.
Yeah.
You're too kind.
I'm just saying, it's just truth, bro. It's just truth. That's all I'm saying. You're the master at it.
Martina, you're fantastic. Anytime you want to come on,
thank you.
Man, you want to guest host with us? That could be fun. I think, because I love your art videos too. So, I mean, you're really into art and everything. And, if you don't mind us from time to time, maybe sending you a little, hey, Martina, want to come on and guest host with us?
Of course. Yeah, you guys are welcome to my channel anytime as well. I got to get back into it. This is like the first thing I've done.
Do you want to plug your YouTube stuff?
Yeah. Oh, maybe it was Miss Fury.
Oh, I think it was Miss Fury.
Yeah.
It was Miss
Fury.
Fury.
Oh, it was Miss Fury. Oh,
yeah. That's going through Dynamite. Dynamite's publishing that.
Yeah, I did not publish it.
Yeah.
But I have two identities, like I said. So on everything on YouTube, there's youtube.com/Martina Markota TV. And then there's the Lady Alchemy one. I don't really know what the handle is for that, but there's a Lady Alchemy YouTube. And I try to keep things pretty separate. Like I said, Martina's pretty nerdy. So we do art history. We have the chat's really fun. It's always like good conversations about art history. We always learn something new every day. The chat is intelligent, and it's a really good community. So if you guys are interested in that, like I love pushing culture forward, not just like bitching about what's going on, but like learning something. It's good. It's fun. The community is really fun. So get involved. But the Lady Alchemy YouTube is strictly like my Lady Alchemy art, like just my performances, hardcore Lady Alchemy stuff.
I wonder why not for this campaign. Do you have a photo variant cover for this campaign?
Yeah, I mean the Pablo one is potentially a variant or a slip-in extra art. I'll think about it because printing. It's cheaper when you do bulk print of like one thing.
Yeah.
And so I'll have to see what we can do about it. A lot of people also did like the idea of like having a real pic, like those like photo ones. They did it for like Vampirella a lot of the times.
Yeah, that's what he was saying. A photo cover of you, one of your photos.
Right.
And
so
I think the plate change may be about $150. So it really might not be that. You're gonna have to gauge it and see how many you think you'll sell.
Right.
But I think it would do dynamite, especially now. Again, if you start like RT Bears here, you go on art show. You get with arts audience. You start going on other shows as well. Having us, some of our guys onto your show and gals. Start to get just getting out there more. I think a photo cover would be fantastic because you have stunning photographs.
Thank you.
It's
beautiful. I think that would be a good option. And I mean, maybe I'll just print out like the one cover for whatever orders I have now, but like any additional like options I'll put out there for a variant, then that should pay for itself. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. Well, I hope you get out there more and do some more streaming and get this, get things moving, because I think you could really jump this campaign pretty quick. Because with the way how long you fought to make this happen, and even the outcome, if it went the other way, what you were going to do, I mean, there's really no reason any backers would leave your side. And now those backers are still there. They know where you are. If they're watching this stream, they know where the book is, right? And then now all you're going to do is now gain even more backers for this book.
Yeah.
And, I can't wait to see it. I'm going to back this myself. It's freaking amazing. I love this. I hope you continue with this. And I really can't wait to see what your next project is.
Yes.
Because you're just spewing like this, this is going to be amazing, so it's like, I can't wait till you can tell us about it. But that'll be cool. Sure. So yeah, thanks so much for coming on and hanging out with us. And everyone, please, on your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, whatever you are using, make sure to share the link. Again, it's pinned at the top of the chat. It's in the description of the show, along with some other great campaigns from many of your other favorite Comicsgate creators and beyond. And share this. Encourage people to back it, check it out. This is happening. It's going to be in the hands of people, coming down the road. And we want Martina to create more books. And to be creating more content that is immersive. That's what's great about what we're doing. We're in a golden age of crowdfunding and creating, where you're not just going and buying a comic book off the shelf. You're getting to know the creators, talk to creators, and even dealing with things that the creators create, such as their own personal conventions. If you're a fan of Polito, right? He does conventions for his fans. You have performers like Martina and other creators out there, and cosplayers that are doing books now that are creating. I mean, this is way better than just buying a comic book. You are a part of an experience. So make sure to share it, back it, and love what you get, because it's amazing. It's amazing. Absolutely, Bailey.
You're awesome, Martina. It's so great to meet you.
Oh, thank you. It's so nice to have you guys finally do something.
You're crazy, Art. We should have had Art come on. Art's funny. Too bad, Art.
We'll get you on next time, Art.
Yeah, we'll flow some creative juices later, Art. All right, everyone.
Art pops on always at the end.
What's that? Art always pops on the end. So he watches like during the whole thing. He's like, all right, this is, it sounds like you're winding down. I'm going to pop in. Or I don't know how he times it. He always pops in at the end.
He does.
Unbelievable.
Type of guy.
Unbelievable. Well, everyone have a great night. I don't know. We may be doing another stream tomorrow night. I'm going to talk to Adam. Maybe Billy will be on, but he's going to be prepping because it's New York Comic Con time, people.
Yeah,
so
set up tomorrow.
it's got to set up. So we may have a stream tomorrow night. If not, this may be our only stream this week. But definitely tune in next week and make sure to catch the professionals this week. You know, with our buddies there, Graham, Art, Andy, Fraga, Aaron. Billy will be at New York Comic Con, but he's there in spirit.
Well, I might be checking. If I check in my hotel, I got to see if Debbie's coming in and what time she's coming in. And,
yeah.
And maybe I'll pop in my room and maybe just buy some food and eat it in my room.
That's depressing.
And then go out drinking and smoke, and then go drinking and smoking cigars with Isaac all night. Go. My bro.
Oh, Isaac's going?
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Everyone's going but you, Nile.
I know. Fucking weddings, bro.
Dude, it's fucked up. All right,
last one, hopefully. All right, everyone, have a great night. Hopefully, the last one.
Bye, Martina. It was so great to have you on.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks,
Back
everyone.
Lady
Have a
Alchemy.
great night.
Hey,
Back Lady Alchemy.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Debbie.
Martina, this is my wife, Deborah.
Hi, nice to meet you.
You guys would love each other.
Okay.
You would.
So I just love you now. How's that?
Got it.
Don't worry about it.
There you go.
We're already there.
Works for me.
All right, everyone. Have a great night. Good to see you, Deb.
Miss you,
Bye.
Nile.
Miss you too. Bye, everybody. Have a great one.
Bye.
Bye, guys. See you later.
Hey everyone, thank you for joining us on Pop XP. If you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button and also click the bell for notifications when we go live and we upload some awesome new content. Also, don't forget to head on over to Twitter and follow us at the Pop XP and over on Instagram at the Pop XP. Thanks again everyone, and we'll see you soon.